What's up, guys? I'm Vidal, and today's late night episode of we're gonna talk about some cool earthquakes. It is currently 4:13, 10:57, and this is the exact time. I know it sounds like super procrastinating, but the exact time I kind of want to start this because like everybody in my house is asleep, so it has to force me to be super quiet and super relaxed. I hope the colors are vibing with you, and let's get started. We're gonna start this episode off with the Tangshan earthquake. It happened July 28th, 1976. Sorry. It took place in Tangshan, China, and it went all the way to Beijing. It had a pretty big, mass effect once it hit. Here's my little map. That was cool. I'd be able to put it in the video, but I don't really know how to do any of that. But that was the map upon that. The science, it was a slip. It was, so in Tangshan, a fault crosses. And in that fault, I'm gonna move you guys really quick. In that fault, there is, it's an old fault, so it's like an ancient fault. After the earthquake had hit, the fault changed its name to the Tangshan fault. It was unknown at the time, but what happened was it was a strike slip fault. So the plates had moved, making this mass effect, opening up this old unknown fault that had already struck. Yeah, it's pretty insane to me, to be honest, but the effects of it, because it had liquefaction, it made all their buildings collapse, like all of them, like their cities were destroyed. It occurred pretty wide, like it was a pretty wide set radius of how many surrounding regions it affected. Said by Britannica, approximately 3,650 square miles from the initial hit point, those cities were affected. I don't really know miles like that or like distances from like Phoenix, but I would bet you could go to New York in 3,000 miles. It's crazy. But it's common, right, for plates to move throughout time, and with magma moving and everything, and the core heating up and stuff. Magma. I forgot that plate's name, but just everything moving around it. The Earth's bound to move a different plate here and there. This was unexpected at the time. Like I said, an old unknown fault was there, and it was unknown, so nobody knew of it. After this, people had to move away from Tangshan because there's no way that they could sufficiently stay on the soil without their homes falling or being at risk of landslide and stuff like that, because it was just so liquefied. It presented a lot of problems. Like I said, all their buildings were at the point where they couldn't stand on their own and stuff like that because of how rich the soil was. Like I said, I quoted Britannica. Sorry, I can't read. And ThoughtCo, that's where I got a lot of my information about. I kind of did a little research looking at the plate tectonic maps, but then I kind of did some research through the USGS. Yeah, I just did a little bit of research through there, but the main sources I got most of the information from were those two, Tectonica and ThoughtCo. But other than that, dude, it's a pretty crazy earthquake. It's pretty insane to see that these mass things happen, and I think that's why I kind of like this class and the energy it brings, because it's just you really see how crazy the Earth is and the amounts of power that are here. Like, it's just crazy. But that'll be like a next week episode when we talk about it. I'll catch you later. Stay chillin'.